Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following WNBA matches that is happening on Tuesday, September 5, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Chicago Sky vs Indiana Fever. Take Chicago, and here is why. The Chicago Sky played the New York Liberty and took a loss by a score of 86-69 in their last game. Chicago wrapped up the contest with a 37.5% FG percentage, 27 out of 72, and made 8 of their 23 three-point shots. From the charity stripe, the Sky knocked down 7 of their 8 attempts for a rate of 87.5%. In reference to grabbing rebounds, they compiled 31, with 7 of them being of the offensive variety. They also distributed 15 dimes in this matchup, in addition to forcing the other team into 14 turnovers and earning 7 steals. When talking about the defense, Chicago allowed the other team to go 47.2% from the field on 34 out of 72 shooting. New York doled out 10 dimes and had 12 steals for this game. Moreover, New York collected 40 rebounds, 10 offensive, 30 defensive, and had 5 blocks. New York ended up shooting 72.7% at the free throw line by knocking down 8 of 11 tries. They made 10 of 27 shots from long range. Chicago comes into this one with a mark of 15-22 so far this season. They currently have an average of 80.5 PTS per contest, 7th in basketball, while connecting on 43.6% from the floor. The Sky are shooting 36.1% on shots from three-point land, 293 of 811, and 74.7% from the free throw line. As a unit, Chicago is snagging 33.2 rebounds per game and has tallied 740 dimes for the year, which has them ranked 4th in the league in terms of passing the rock. They lose possession by turning the ball over 13.5 times per contest, and as a squad, they are committing 17.1 personal fouls per contest. On defense, the Sky have forced 13.1 turnovers per game, while drawing 16.2 fouls. They are currently ranked 11th in the WNBA in allowing assists to the opposition, with 769 relinquished this year. The Sky defensively are giving up an opponent shooting percentage of 45.3%, 484 of 599, and they surrender 35.1 rebounds per game as a basketball team. They are surrendering 33.4% on three-point shots, and they are 6th in the league in points per game allowed, 83.4. Our total pick is under. When they last played, the Indiana Fever took home the win by a final score of 97-84 when they faced the Dallas Wings. The Fever were able to pull down 31 defensive rebounds and 10 offensive boards, totaling 41 for the game. They gave up possession of the ball 15 times, while recording 6 steals in this contest. The Wings earned 18 fouls for the matchup, which took the Fever to the free throw line for 17 tries. They were able to make 12 of the free throws for a percentage of 70.6%. Concerning shots from downtown, Indiana converted 13 of their 29 attempts, 44.8%. Overall, the Fever finished 36 out of 81 from the floor, which gave them a shooting percentage of 44.4%. The Fever permitted the Wings to convert 32 of 83 tries from the field, which had them at 38.6% in this game. They finished 24.1% from downtown by connecting on 7 out of 29 and walked away from this one shooting 13 out of 19 from the free throw line, 68.4%. When talking about team rebounding, Indiana allowed Dallas to grab 39 in total, 10 on the offensive side. Kelsey Mitchell was important for the Fever in this matchup. She made 10 out of 20 in this contest, giving her a rate of 50.0% and totaled 5 rebounds. Mitchell tallied 30 points in her 41 minutes on the court and accumulated 2 assists for this game. Los Angeles Sparks vs Connecticut Sun. Take Connecticut. And here is why. In their last game, the Connecticut Sun went home defeated by a final of 89-58 against the New York Liberty. The Sun were able to snag 21 defensive rebounds and 6 offensive rebounds for a total of 27 for this game. They turned it over 13 times, while recording 6 steals for the game. The Liberty earned 16 fouls for this game, which took the Sun to the free throw line for 14 attempts. They were able to convert 10 of those for a rate of 71.4%. When talking about three-point shots, Connecticut knocked down 6 of 20 tries, 30.0%. When this game wrapped up, the Sun went 21 out of 63 from the floor, which gave them a rate of 33.3%. The Sun allowed the Liberty to make 34 of their 62 tries from the field, which had them shooting 54.8% for the game. They shot 32.0% from behind the three-point line by shooting 8 of 25 and finished the contest at 13 out of 18 at the free throw line, 72.2%. When talking about how they attacked the glass, Connecticut permitted New York to snag 40 in all, 8 on the offensive glass. Tiffany Hayes ended up being a factor for the Sun for this contest. She converted 4 of 10 in this matchup for a field goal percentage of 40.0% and had 2 rebounds. Hayes earned 11 points in her 21 minutes on the hardwood and totaled 2 dimes in this matchup. Connecticut has a record of 25-12 for the season. The Sun have committed 18.6 fouls per game and they go 76.4% from the free throw line. They are assisting teammates 20.6 times per game, third in the league, and they cough up possession 12.3 times per game. Connecticut has 3,050 PTS on the campaign, 82.4 per game, and they average 33.5 boards per game. When it comes to offensive execution, the Sun are shooting 44.3% from the floor, which is 5th in the league. The Sun defensively are ranked 1st in the league in points per game surrendered with 79.0. They relinquish 19.0 assists and 34.2 boards on a nightly basis, which ranks 3rd and 5th in basketball. The Connecticut defense surrenders 31.4% on three-point shots, 244 of 776, and their opponents are knocking down 78.7% of their free throw shots. They have forced 14.82s per game and have let teams shoot 43.4% from the floor, 4th in basketball. Our total pick is over. And here is why. Los Angeles comes into this matchup with a win-loss mark of 16-21 this year. They turn it over 12.6 times per contest, and as a group they are committing 17.0 personal fouls on a nightly basis. As a team, Los Angeles is snagging 31.6 boards per game and has racked up 702 assists for the campaign, which ranks 8th in the WNBA in terms of passing. The Sparks are connecting on 32.9% from downtown, 237 of 720, and 82.0% from the charity stripe. They average 78.4 points per game, 11th in the league, on 42.3% from the floor. When they are on the defensive end, the Sparks have forced 14.6 turnovers on a nightly basis, while drawing 18.4 personal fouls. The Sparks' defense is giving up an opponent FG percentage of 45.3%, 539 of 682, and they surrender 35.2 rebounds per game as a unit. They are 4th in basketball in giving up assists to their opponents, with 721 conceded on the campaign. They are relinquishing 31.1% on shots from distance, and they are 2nd in the league in points per game allowed, 79.6. Washington Mystics vs Phoenix Mercury. Take Washington, and here is why. Washington comes into this one with a record of 17-20 for the campaign. They have an average of 79.9 PTS per game, 9th in the league, while hitting 42.4% from the field. The Mystics are connecting on 32.8% on shots beyond the perimeter, 278 of 847, and 81.9% from the free throw line. As a unit, Washington is pulling in 32.4 rebounds per contest and has tallied 697 assists for the campaign, which ranks 9th in the league in terms of passing the ball. They turn it over 12.6 times per game and as a squad are committing 18.7 personal fouls on a nightly basis. Defensively, the Mystics are forcing 14.8 turnovers on a nightly basis and they draw 18.3 personal fouls. The Mystics' defense is giving up an opponent field goal percentage of 43.8%, 548 of 678, and they concede 35.7 boards per game as a unit. They are currently ranked 5th in basketball in allowing assists to the opposition, with 729 surrendered for the year. They concede 34.8% on three-pointers, and they are 5th in basketball in PPG allowed, 80.8. Our total pick is over. And here is why. When they last stepped on the hardwood, the Phoenix Mercury took a loss by a final score of 86-73 against the Minnesota Lynx. The Mercury were able to collect 28 defensive boards and 9 offensive boards totaling 37 for the game. They turned the ball over 12 times, while recording 5 steals in this game. The Lynx were called for 23 personal fouls for the matchup, which got the Mercury to the free throw line for a total of 22 attempts. They were able to knock down 16 of those for a rate of 72.7%. When discussing three-point attempts, Phoenix buried 7 of their 14 tries, 50.0%. When this game wrapped up, the Mercury went 25 for 68 from the field, which gave them a percentage of 36.8%. The Mercury permitted the Lynx to make 31 of their 72 attempts from the field, which gave them a percentage of 43.1% in this game. They went 42.9% from downtown by shooting 9 out of 21 and finished the contest at 15 of 22 from the free throw line, 68.2%. Concerning how they attacked the glass, Phoenix permitted Minnesota to get 41 in all, 10 offensive. Mariah Jefferson ended up having an impact for the Mercury in the matchup. She made 13 out of 22 for the game for a rate of 59.1% and earned 2 rebounds. Jefferson scored 32 points in her 32 minutes on the hardwood and accumulated 4 dimes in this matchup. Phoenix has a win-loss mark of 9-28 on the campaign. On the offensive side of the court, the Mercury are hitting on 44.6% from the field, which is 3rd in the league. Phoenix has earned 2,829 points on the campaign, 76.5 per contest, and they grab 30.7 rebounds per game. They are assisting teammates 19.1 times per game, 7th in the league, and they turn it over 15.0 times per contest. The Mercury are committing 19.3 fouls per game, while shooting 80.1% from the free throw line. The Mercury defensively are ranked 7th in the league in points given up per game with 83.8. They have allowed 19.7 dimes and 33.9 total rebounds per game, which is ranked 7th and 4th in the WNBA. The Phoenix defense gives up 36.6% on shots from three-point land, 282 of 770, and their opposition makes 80.4% of their shots from the charity stripe. They are forcing 12.22s per game and allow teams to shoot 44.1% from the field, 6th in basketball. New York Liberty vs Dallas Wings. Take Dallas, and here is why. When they last stepped on the court, the Dallas Wings took a defeat with a final score of 97-84 when they faced the Indiana Fever. The Wings were able to collect 29 defensive boards and 10 offensive rebounds for a total of 39 for the game. They also turned it over 10 times, while getting 8 steals in this game. The Fever had 25 personal fouls in this contest, which got the Wings to the free throw line for 19 attempts. They were able to make 13 of the free throw attempts for a rate of 68.4%. When discussing three-point shots, Dallas buried 7 of 29 attempts, 24.1%. At the conclusion of this game, the Wings walked away from this one shooting 32 out of 83 from the floor, which had them shooting 38.6%. The Wings permitted the Fever to make 36 of 81 attempts from the floor, which had them shooting 44.4% for the matchup. They shot 44.8% from beyond the perimeter by going 13 out of 29 and finished the game at 12 out of 17 at the free throw line, 70.6%. When talking about rebounding, Dallas permitted Indiana to pull down 41 overall, 10 offensive. Erica Gunboyle ended up being a factor for the Wings for this game. She buried 9 of 22 in this contest, giving her a rate of 40.9% and had 5 rebounds. Gunboyle earned 22 points in her 43 minutes on the hardwood and accounted for 2 dimes for the game. Dallas has a record of 20-17 this year. Dallas has tallied 3,221 points for the season, 87.1 per contest, and they grab 38.6 boards per game. The Wings are committing 18.7 fouls per game, and they hit 80.1% from the free throw line. In terms of offensive execution, the Wings are shooting 43.6% from the field, which ranks them 7th in the WNBA. Their rate of earning assists is at 19.8 times per game, 5th in the WNBA, and they cough up possession 13.0 times per contest. The Wings on the defensive side of the court are 10th in the WNBA in points given up per game with 84.7. They are forcing 13.6 turnovers on a nightly basis and allow teams to shoot 44.5% from the floor, 9th in the league. The Dallas defense concedes 36.0% from downtown, 303 of 841, and their opponents are making 81.0% of their free throw shots. They allow 19.9 assists and 32.4 boards on a nightly basis, which ranks them 8th and 1st in the WNBA. Our total pick is over. And here is why. New York comes into this matchup with a mark of 37 for the season. They average 88.9 PTS per contest, 2nd in basketball, while going 46.0% from the field. The Liberty are shooting 37.3% on shots from beyond the arc, 407 of 1,090, and 82.5% from the charity stripe. As a team, New York is grabbing 38.3 boards per contest and has accounted for 888 dimes so far this season, which is 1st in the league in terms of passing. They are losing possession via turnover 13.5 times per game, and as a basketball team, they commit 16.2 fouls per contest. On defense, the Liberty are forcing 11.9 turnovers per contest while drawing 17.3 personal fouls. The Liberty are giving up an opponent FG percentage of 41.9%, 442 of 639, and they surrender 33.1 rebounds per contest as a team. They rank 2nd in the league in giving up assists with 697 conceded this year. They are relinquishing 34.1% on shots from downtown, and they are third in basketball in PPG from their opponents, 79.7.